You are probably familiar with the history of the Mongol Empire, which arose from the conquests of Genghis Khan. This empire brought China to its knees and came close to subjugating the very powers of Europe. But do you know their religion? Do you know about their gods and beliefs? Have you heard about the important role of shamans in their culture? This is a story that deserves to be told, and I hope you enjoy it. Tengrism is an ancient religion that is basically about respecting and connecting with nature and the sky. It is as if the universe has its own energy system and mystical beings. Imagine that, instead of just believing in one main god, you also recognize other spirits and forces of nature, all working together in a great balance. It's kind of like a deeper connection to the world around you. Number 1. Tengri. Tengri is a primordial deity who represents the sky and is central to understanding the spiritual beliefs and worldview of the ancient Turkic and Mongolian peoples. Tengri is known as the god of the infinite and all-encompassing sky and is seen as an all-pervading force that is incomprehensible to the human mind. Tengri is omnipresent and omnipotent, but he is also distant. The veneration of Tengri goes back to ancient times. The nomadic cultures of the Central Asian steppes, including the Turkic and Mongolian peoples, worshipped him as the chief divinity in their respective pantheons. The observance of Tengrism declined with the spread of Islam, Buddhism, and other religions among these peoples, but Tengri and his teachings can still be found in many of their modern cultural and spiritual practices. Tengri is generally not depicted in a human or anthropomorphic form. Instead, he is associated with the vast sky and often with the eagle, an animal that is considered sacred in many Turkic and Mongolian cultures because of its ability to fly close to the sky. Worship of Tengri usually involved sacrifices and offerings, often carried out in high places where the worshippers were believed to be closest to the sky. Shamans, known as Tengrians, often played a central role in these rituals, acting as intermediaries between humans and Tengri. Number 2. Umay. Umay is known primarily as the goddess of fertility and the protector of children and women, especially during childbirth. She is also seen as the goddess of nature and the earth. Her connection to the protection of children means that she is often regarded as a benevolent and loving deity. The veneration of Umay is ancient and dates back to early Turkic times in Central Asia. She is often associated with birds, especially the stork, which is seen as a symbol of motherhood. It is not generally given a definite human form, but when it is depicted, it is usually as a maternal figure or as a creature related to her attributes. Shamans, or spiritual intermediaries, used to invoke Umay to protect newborns, ensure fertility, and protect mothers. Rituals and offerings were often performed to ensure her blessing and protection. Like the ritual I'm going to have to perform for you to like this video, I don't ask you for blessings, better subscribe. I don't ask for protections either, I'd rather read you below in the comments. And what is my humble offering for this ritual? Continue to bring out these stories and mythologies that you like so much. Number 3. Erlik. Erlik is the lord of the underworld and is seen as a dark counterpart in Tengrist cosmology. He is the antithesis of Tengri, the sky god. Evil characteristics are attributed to him, and he is considered the first shaman to fall from grace. According to some mythical versions, Erlik was the first being created by Tengri, but due to his disobedience or rivalry with Tengri, he was banished to the underworld. In some accounts, Erlik collaborates with Tengri in the creation of the world and humanity, but his contributions often have negative consequences, such as introducing death or disease into the world. Erlik rules the underworld, a place where the souls of the dead reside. Although his realm is associated with death and darkness, it is not necessarily hell in the sense of a place of eternal punishment. Rather, it is a place where souls wait and prepare for reincarnation or to follow their spiritual path. Erlik is often depicted as a dark figure, sometimes with demonic features. However, his specific image may vary depending on regional traditions and interpretations. Shamans, as intermediaries between the physical and spiritual worlds, often interact with Erlik in their spiritual journeys, especially when performing rituals to communicate with the dead or to guide souls to the underworld. Number 4. Kash. Kash, in the mythology and religion of Turkic and Mongolian peoples, is the sun god in Tengrism. Although not as central as Tengri, the god of the sky, or Erlik, the god of the underworld, Koyash still occupies a significant place in Tengrist cosmology. Koyash is revered as the embodiment of the sun and is the personification of its power and light. He is often considered a symbol of life, energy, and renewal. In Tengrism, the cosmos is often visualized as a system in which heaven, earth, and the underworld interact in balance. Koyash, being the sun god, plays an essential role in this structure, providing light and warmth to the earth and serving as a counterpoint to the darkness of Erlik's underworld. In some Turkic and Mongolian traditions, specific festivals and rituals are held to honor Koyash, especially during the equinoxes or solstices, when the power of the sun is especially prominent. For the nomadic cultures of the steppes, the sun was crucial to daily life. Not only did it provide the light and warmth necessary for survival, but it also guided people's movements and activities. As a result, Koyash became a god of great practical as well as spiritual importance. Number 5. Ayata. Ayata is considered the incarnation of the moon. He is revered as the god who controls and personifies the phases of the moon, its cycles, and its effects on the earth. While the sun symbolizes light, energy, and power, the moon, in contrast, symbolizes tranquility, renewal, and cyclical change. Ayata plays a role in the balance between light and dark, day and night. As with Koyash, specific festivals and rituals are held to honor Ayata. The phases of the moon, especially the new moon and full moon, are times of ritual significance in some traditions. The moon, like the sun, was essential to nomadic cultures. Ayata, therefore, had practical importance. The moon helped to mark time, provided light during the night, and influenced certain activities and rituals. Number 6. Ur-Sub. Ur, earth, and Sub, water, are two deities working in symbiosis. The earth needs water to be fertile and sustain life, while water in many contexts needs the earth to contain and shape it. In some mythical accounts, it is said that after Tengri created the sky, Ur-Sub emerged as the next primordial deities, giving rise to the creation of the tangible world. Together, they formed the seas, rivers, mountains, and valleys. For nomadic cultures, the relationship with land and water is fundamental. Rivers and lakes are vital for the supply of water for livestock and people. In addition, land in the form of grasslands is essential for feeding livestock. Honoring Ur-Sub is a way of recognizing and respecting the interdependence of these essential elements. Ur-Sub can also be seen as a symbol of yin and yang, representing duality and harmony in nature. Earth is stable, constant, and solid, while water is fluid, changing, and adaptive. Number 7. Nature spirits. In Tengrism, as in many other indigenous religions and worldviews, nature spirits occupy a fundamental place. These spirits are considered living entities that inhabit and protect different aspects of the natural world, from mountains and rivers to trees and animals. Mountain spirits, taiga. They were believed to inhabit specific mountains and offer protection or challenges to those who enter their domain. Water spirits, suezi. These spirits inhabit rivers, lakes, and streams. Respect should be shown to them, especially when drinking water or fishing. Forest spirits. Trees and forests were believed to be inhabited by spirits that could offer protection or punish those who damaged their territory. Animal spirits. Animals, especially those that were vital to the subsistence of nomadic cultures, such as horses, had associated guardian spirits. The shaman, or Kam in some Tengrista traditions, played a crucial role as mediator between humans and nature spirits. Through rituals, songs, and dances, the shaman could communicate with these spirits and request their guidance or intervention. Specific rituals were performed to appease, invoke, or thank these nature spirits. Offerings, which could include food, milk, or objects, were regularly offered to secure their favor and protection. The presence of nature spirits fostered a deep respect for the environment. It was not simply a matter of religious reverence, but also a pragmatic practice. Maintaining a harmonious relationship with nature ensured the survival and well-being of the community. Stories about these nature spirits were passed down from generation to generation. These stories served as moral lessons, warnings, or simply as entertainment, but always reinforced the sacred connection between the people and the land. Number 8. Ancestors. Ancestral spirits, Essage. Ancestors are not seen simply as figures from the past. They are alive in the spiritual sense. It is believed that they can influence people's daily lives, offering protection, guidance, and blessings. Specific rituals exist to honor and communicate with ancestors. The anniversary dates of an ancestor's death are especially important and are observed with respect and ritual. Shamans act as intermediaries between the world of the living and that of the spirits, including the ancestors. Through rituals, trances, and songs, they can communicate directly with the spirit world and request help or guidance from the ancestors. These stone mounds or piles, called obu, act as altars or shrines to ancestral spirits in some Tengrista cultures. They are often found at sacred sites, such as crossroads, mountaintops, or springs. Some Tengrist traditions believe in reincarnation, where the spirits of ancestors can return to the world of the living in new forms. In this context, the birth of a child may be seen as the return of a deceased ancestor. Ancestor veneration in Tengrism is not simply a matter of tradition or respect. It is an integral part of how the world is viewed and interacted with. Ancestors act as a bridge between the past, present, and future, connecting people to their heritage and offering guidance and protection in daily life. Remember that in this channel we are collecting mythologies, gods, and creatures from all over the world. Stop by the channel to see the rest of videos and subscribe to not miss the videos that are coming out. And if you also give me like and leave your comment, I make you the rain dance.